John Duffy is one of the awardees here in 2025 at the Thousand
Oaks Women's Republican Club.
Have you always been Republican or leaning conservative?
No, I've gone on many journeys. I started out as a Irish American Catholic Democrat with the Kennedys when I was young in New York. Then I went from being a Kennedy Democrat to a communist leader, and spent 10 years doing that. Led trips to China, communist Yugoslavia, and then got to see behind the curtain, and then became, after 9/11, became what I called a born-again American and a patriot. And so that's kind of been my political journey.
What's it like? What has it been like in Southern California since 2020, the year that COVID came and changed the elections?
Well, I think, the whole response of both California and the government to COVID was one of taking away people's rights and not allowing people to have freedom over their own decisions about their health, their body, and what they would do in life. I didn't go along with the people who followed that, and basically I stood in opposition to that. So I didn't participate, and I think a lot of people woke up under COVID to how they were being programmed by the government, by the media, to live in fear as opposed to make the right decisions in life and take control of their families and their communities. So I stood against that during COVID.
Well, what kind of things have you been doing that you think they took into consideration in selecting you for this award?
Well, I met them 5-6 years ago. I've been a supporter. I just think Rosemary and her sister Beatrice Licata are two of the best humans I've met. They've done so much to help others with their organization, helping young people. And they just attract a great group of just loving, patriotic, entrepreneurial, just people making a positive difference in the world. So I've just been honored to know them and blessed to know them. And so when Rosemary, I've helped her every year. I show up and help her set up and do whatever I can to be a help to her. And so it's just a great opportunity. When she told me I was getting the award, I was like, wow. I did not expect it, and I'm honored and blessed that she chose me.
You've done a lot of work in the media, haven't you?
Yeah, I worked as an actor, as a film producer, and then during COVID, I started a podcast show called Live Courageously. I've done 98 shows so far. I'm 96. I'm hoping to get 100 done by the end of the year or the beginning of the next year if I can't get it done in time. And then I'll continue. And the concept of Live Courageously is I interview people who are basically people who live courageously in the world, whether it's in entertainment, ex-military, police, business people, entrepreneurs, people who are creative, free thinkers, and people who are trying to make a positive difference in life. So that's who I reach out to with my Live Courageously program.
Where can people see it?
It's on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I also, it's called Live Courageously with John Duffy. I also have a website called live-courageously.com. And I also put out a newsletter, which I kind of stopped for a little bit because I just did a movie called Courage. And that, once again, is to encourage people to overcome the media manipulation of us to live in fear and to find a way to be courageous in our lives and everything that we do.
With the election of Zohran Mamdani in New York City, do you feel that the idea of communism or socialism as it's being introduced, the Democratic Socialist Party, will start to spread beyond into the mainstream?
Well, that time will tell on that. I mean, having been a leftist for a good part of my life, I think I understand it pretty well. A lot of the influence of that comes out of the universities, Marxist professors, communist professors, and a lot of it is what they're trying to do is to rebrand. Because if you're honest, if they were honest, they would say we're for socialism, we're for communism. But they try and rebrand by saying democratic socialism, so like it's a rebrand. But the bottom line is socialism. It's not democratic, it's socialism. So, but that's how they manipulate, and particularly young people who are not very educated and don't get a proper education in universities anymore. They get propagandized by their Marxist professors, and I know that, because I've been through it. And New York's a great city. It's one of the best cities in the world, and I think that this is not going to lead to a positive conclusion. New York's gone through phases with different mayors, Democrat and Republican, and there's been a lot stronger Democrat and Republican mayors than there is right now. De Blasio was a rather very harmful mayor for New York, and time will tell, but I think Mandami will be another harmful one for New York.
How about what do you think of the prospect of Gavin Newsom as the Democratic presidential candidate?
I don't know. I have to laugh because I say if your brand is to hire a used car salesman, that's the right person for you. I mean, he is such a, I don't know, just so unauthentic as a human being. Besides the politics involved, just who his character is. And then, of course, his dishonesty during COVID, where he was telling people we couldn't go to somebody's funeral who died, but he was partying at his wine club and with no mask on, but everybody else was supposed to hide. So he's not an honest person, he's not an honest broker, but he is very charismatic, and he has a lot of money behind him, especially Hollywood money. And they're going to try and promote him, and he has this body movements, the hand movements that he does that are just like, I don't know, it's great for a comedy show, but I don't think it's right for the presidency. 7 minutes to go? No, I mean, I just think that, we're in a time where it's very divided. And I think one of the things I would just say is, because I've been on both sides politically, and I have friends on all sides, is that I think courage, the message of courage, is that you're not afraid to have conversations. You're not afraid of ideas. You're not afraid to listen to people who agree or disagree with you. So if you're a courageous person, why wouldn't you have a conversation with somebody who has a different opinion? But if you're a coward, well, of course not. You're not able to have that conversation because you don't have courage. And so I think, unfortunately, our society, thanks to the social media and the media, has turned a lot of people into cowards, and they're not courageous enough to be able to just listen to each other, to respect each other. I mean, I remember I was at an event, and there was an Antifa kid, and I spoke with the kid for like about 20 minutes. And at the end, we had this great conversation where he thanked me for being respectful to him and having the conversation. And we disagreed on everything. But I was willing to tell him, look, I was you. When I was a kid, I thought like you. Just open your mind. You can think what you want, you can believe what you want, but don't be afraid to have conversations with people who have different opinions. Don't put people in boxes, because it's not true. And so that's my message, is like finding a way to cross that great divide between us politically. And I'm not naive, and I don't think everybody's going to be able to do it, but I think there are some people on both sides of the political sides that can have these conversations. And then there's others who will never have them, and that's unfortunate.